So what happens is, he will never fall under anybody.
I hope my ex-bosses are listening. Because, listen, you corporate fellows, this is why I took up entrepreneurship, because this wasn't my calling, working under you guys. Anyway. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to All Bata. My name is Sid. I've got with me Miss Amrita Kamdar, who is the founder of Brain FX. We're going to talk to her about what she does, how she goes about things. She's also got a paper manufacturing business, and she's also into styling. So we're going to talk to her about all of that. Welcome to the channel, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's start with your story, right? Because we want to know what your story is mainly. I think this is a better way to sort of, formulate it. So tell us about your story. How did this whole thing begin?
I don't know. It is a calling, I guess. You don't even realize where things begin. It just is a calling, and then you just kind of feel that you're right for this thing, and you get into it. And then once you get into it, you put your 100% best into it. And then the passion follows and success automatically happens.
That seems to be a formula since you're into so many different things and you're successful at each of them. It's difficult to sort of be into everything and be successful at each and every one of them. Let's talk about your most recent thing, which is DMIT, right? And Brain FX and how that came into being. I don't think a lot of people know what DMIT is or how it works. So if you could just help us out with that a little bit.
Basically, we take the scan and of all the 10 fingerprints, and each fingerprint talks about one aspect about your personality. So with all 10, each finger will talk about some leadership aspect about you, or your communication skills, your fine motor skills, and so many things. All 10 fingers talk about some aspect about you. Okay, so what we do is, and we're talking about an accuracy of almost 90%. Okay, because fingerprints, there's no pen and paper test involved for your aptitude or your liking. This is something that is there with you, and we just identify it. So it's we are the only US patent in India who do this. So we give them career guidance, and of course, your fingerprints are there from 3 years, proper 3 years to till your life ends. So there is no age limit or target audience for us. Each of them does it for their own perspectives and for their own understanding of why you want to do it.
Right.
For very young children, it's a parenting guidance because when you identify the potential of the child, you know where to maneuver them in their life and how to handle them with effective parenting skills. Later on, it is all the molding period. That is also very important, how you mold your child as per their inborn potential. Later on, 8, 9, 10, till the 20 years kind of thing, it is more of career guidance. What is your calling in life? Because that's crucial for everybody. So yeah, we guide them at that point. Again, there is midlife career crisis. At 40s, people do it because you want to shift to something else in your life. You want to move from job to business, or you migrated from somewhere and you want to start something on your own. So it depends on a lot of things. People also do this for matchmaking of husband-wife because more than the horoscopes, if the personalities match, things are more smoother in life.
It sounds very interesting. It sounds very scientific. Which brings me to
science.
Right.
It's a science. It's based on Dr. Howard Gardner's theory. So it is purely a science-based thing. There is no prediction, or I can't tell you that you'll become a doctor. But yeah, I can tell you if you end up getting into medical, you'll be a brilliant doctor. So
right.
I can guide. I cannot predict anything, of course, but guidance makes a huge difference in life. Yeah.
It does, because everyone wants to sort of, be the best at what they do. I think that should be the ultimate goal for everyone, right? Like you say, even if you're a sweeper, be the best at it, right? So I think that's very important. Which brings me to this point where it gets very specific. Like you mentioned, it can be parenting related, it can be matchmaking related, it can be career related. So how do you get this level of accuracy? Like what is the process involved in this entire thing?
So it's a 3-process thing. First is a scan that we take with our scanners. We take all 10 fingerprints. After that, a report is generated within 3 to 5 working days. Once the report is generated, it's a proper, comprehensive, elaborate report that talks about a lot of aspects about your inborn potential and your strengths and weaknesses and which are the areas that you need to work on, your career, which career best suits you. So many aspects. Are you a right brain dominant person or your left brain dominant person? What are your most effective learning styles? So many aspects that we cover in that report. Once the report is ready, we have a counseling session. I'm a certified counselor for that.
Right.
And this is a once in a lifetime thing because it's purely biometric based and fingerprints don't change.
So the same fingerprints can be analyzed at different points of time in life for different things, basically.
No, the report always remains the same because your fingerprints are not going to change.
Right.
Only some people evolve. There are certain personalities that we identify. They evolve over a period of time. So many times we find people, they were so different in school and now they are completely different people. And as they grow old, they become so different. So they are the evolving personalities. And there are some people, there are certain personalities that we identify, they are extremely headstrong. They will just do exactly what they want to do right from childhood. So they don't change much in life. So we have different counseling techniques, all those things.
So I have to ask, like, because we usually tell people you can be whatever you want, right? You can be good at whatever you want. You just gotta work hard. You just gotta, yada yada yada. We do that entire that whole 9 mile speech. So I have to ask, scientifically, since you have like DMIT as a tool to sort of help you qualify and quantify this kind of potential. Do you think everyone can do everything, or with just as much of an efficiency, or is it something that's debatable?
See, what happens is every person has their own potential, and your choices and your potential, when they come together, you get great success in life. Just understand that. Sometimes you have some potential and you pick up something else in life, and then you feel I'm not doing very well. Why? Because you've not identified that's not your true calling. We that's a very old saying. You cannot judge a fish by his ability of climbing a tree.
Right.
That's a very old saying. So you cannot judge a person on just what they have taken up in life. So that's how we try and merge your potential with your career choices. Then is the time where you're going to get your success. Otherwise, that person will always think that I'm bad at this. But probably he's not taken the right choice in life. Maybe he's good at something else and probably brilliant at something else. So maybe the choices are wrong in life. It could be parental pressure. It could be peer pressure. It could be just dreams to achieve. But without knowing the potential, then we try and get them back to reality. This is what you are. If I know that this person's logical reasoning is low and he's taken up science or he wants to pursue engineering, it's just not right for him. Maybe his communication is brilliant. He's called a MBA calling or a business calling.
Right.
Or, for example, if the person is extremely headstrong, he's not going to work under anybody. He's not going to take instructions.
I totally understand. So where does Brain FX fit in all of this?
That's my company, which takes care of the DMIT. We are also into manufacturing of paper bags. So, as I told you, we started this 17 years ago.
Yeah, let's also talk about your styling and your paper manufacturing and those different avenues. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so we are into paper bag manufacturing and we supply paper bags to most of the leading hospital groups in India. And it's a brilliant thing because we thought of this a long time ago, maybe 16 years ago. It was a very future product then. And it's doing brilliantly well because now anyways, after the ban of plastic, it was like a boon.
Sure. Yeah.
People are getting more conscious and more eco-friendly on using eco-friendly stuff rather than plastic and taking off plastic from their life.
Right.
So this was a very early initiative by us. It was a risk then because plastic and paper has no comparison on pricing. So to convince a person to move to a paper bag from plastic is not easy. It was a big transition. And when luckily the ban came from the government, and then people didn't have choices than to move from plastic to paper.
you mentioned a little bit about, styling, how important it is, power styling and things like that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it has been observed over a period of years that there are a lot of women on the top in the banking sector, finance sector, FMCG, a lot of areas of media. Uh, they are doing phenomenally well in life. They communicate brilliantly on the phone, but when you go and meet them, they are not great dressers. That aura is not there, that effect is not there, impact is not there, the dressing is very clumsy. So that's where I thought that, this area needs to be tapped because a person, when he presents, it's the look first, then the mouth. When you start you start talking, communicating, of course, it makes a huge difference. But the first impression is definitely looks, yeah.
How did you get into power styling? Let's talk about that because that's again not something that's very mainstream. Like I think the theme here should be like everything you've been doing is not mainstream at all. So
Yeah.
how did you get into this?
So, what is important is you identify the niche. It's very important. There's no point getting into run-of-the-mill things where hajar people are doing that.
Right.
So, when you identify the niche and the vacuum in certain sector, you need to tap that sector, and that's where you have to bank on it. So, the identification of the sector which is untapped is going to be very crucial in fact, even in the coming times, that's going to be a very crucial thing. Like all the industries have gone down, and the vacuum industry, the cleaning industry, the dishwasher industry, the sanitizing, masks, that industry suddenly flourished.
Right.
Those who have actually identified that niche part of it, that this is the place where you can earn your money or you can make a difference to the society. So that's where you've got to be very proactive about. So I guess only that part I have really tapped on.
It sounds like a lot of stress. I'll be honest about that. How do you deal with stress?
Oh, it's very draining, honestly. Some reports are, they drain me out completely after the counseling. Initially, I used to get too touched and affected, and yeah, but then I guess I'm used to it because I handle all these people every day. But end of the day, if I touch their lives in some way, it gives me that eternal satisfaction. That, yeah, I have changed someone's life, I've touched someone's life for good. And yeah, some of them took a proper 360-degree turn, in their lives after the counseling. So yeah, it feels really good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Jate, do you have any advice for people who want to sort of start their own thing, or maybe if they have their own thing, get into different things like you have right now? Like, of course, figuring out a niche is something that's a little more technical, but just on a personal level, is there something you'd like to, a message you'd like to send across?
My tip would be just go for the calling, honestly. Try and find out the niche in your life, in the industry, match it, and go ahead in life.
That's
Because
amazing.
today, in our present times, I think we with our changed perspective, we are taking the day as it comes. You don't know about tomorrow. So just live life, enjoy what you're doing. And if you enjoy what you're doing, you automatically get success because you give your 100% best. Work should be pleasure. So
Right.
if you like something, you will definitely get success. It shouldn't be work, it should be passion. And the money
Understand.
automatically flows in. If you give your 10%, it shows in your results or in your work. So automatically finance flows in. Of course, the bottom line is important for each one of us. Nobody can do without money.
Of course. Yeah.
But that can't be the only drive, in life. With this scenario, I think everyone has realized that fact in life, that in spite of having lots of money, you can't even go and splurge it outside. What about all the designer stuff that is lying in your wardrobe? You can't even wear those.
Exactly.
All the brands that you have in your shoe rack, the Adidas and the Reeboks, you can't even use them. You're just in your home slippers. So, life has changed. Yeah, the aspects in life have changed.
And all the money you have, everything you have put together, still can't save you from this goddamn disease. That is, I think, like the biggest sort of striking in this whole thing. And thank you so much for doing this, guys. Like, share, subscribe, please. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna see you guys next video.
Bye.